I am the voice of the everyday brother.
Open your minds.
Hours of power, hours of power, hours of power, hours of power.
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, see, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost got $1 billion.
The popular thought series.
3 PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hear these sirens and look through the mirror and see this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, punk. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. With all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Why do you think you never pick up the paper till you read over and over and see white families come? You think of the thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops shot my loved one 42 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops are that? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, if we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you do to drive a car. And if you use it wrongly, you'll lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to protect us? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, we calling for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Sac Fifth Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Westinghouse. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power, hours of power, hours of power.
San Antonio, Lincoln 6. Go ahead. Clear suspect, lab 10-4. That's 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your minds.
I am the voice of the everyday brother.
And peace, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Popular Thought Series right here on the old T.P.O.T. YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Tonight, the one and only Obsidian will be in the house, and we'll be talking about this here piece of literary work right here. I finally read the book, got through it. Took me a couple days because I couldn't sit down and read it all at once, but I finally got through it. Yeah. So we're gonna get old Obsidian in here, man, and talk about the book, do a little Q&A. But before we get started, y'all know, as always, I always start the stream with thanking you good folks for your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, your views, and of course, your hard-earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces. Because I realize you don't have to do it. You don't have to watch these damn videos. You have to show up to these damn streams. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to view. You definitely don't have to drop your hard-earned coins. But you good folks, you choose to do so. And for that, I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm honored. I'm humbled. I am appreciative. I don't take you good folks lightly. I never have, and I never will. And I want you to know, man, that I appreciate you folks. I do. I know I get up here and I say shit sometime that you don't like, but that don't mean that I don't like you and that I take you for granted, because I do not. I'm thankful to all you good folks. I'm even thankful to the people who don't like my ass, because those are a few less people that I have to deal with. So with that, I thank you. Brother Obsidian has not arrived yet. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for Brother Obsidian, I might as well go ahead and hit y'all in the head with some of T.P.O.T's programming notes. Yeah, because next week, big debate. These fellas will be here next Wednesday. Brother Bernard Riley from the Grown Man Hour and Brother SKC will be here. And they will be debating, is macro evolution scientific? Brother Bernard says no. Brother SKC says yes. And they'll be right here squaring off in the digital squared circle only on T.P.O.T Media. You know. Yeah, so make sure you hear. That one should be good. Then next Thursday, the Ask the Doc series returns, and the one and only Green Gorilla will be here. The G with the PhD, and y'all know how we do it with Ask the Doc. He'll be in here, man. We'll be chopping it up, and he'll be taking your questions. Ergo the name, Ask the Doc. So make sure you're here, man, next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday and Thursday. All right? Right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You Negroes know. Yeah. So, let me see what's going on here. I did send Brother Obsidian the link. Let me see. I haven't heard anything from him. So, Brother Obsidian is known to stand us up, folks. He is known to do that. Yeah, Brother Obsidian is known to stand us the hell up. Yeah, because I would hate to get into the book. Did any of y'all read? Have y'all read Brother Obsidian's book? Any of you? And if you have, what do you think of it? What do you think of Brother Obsidian's book while we wait for him to come get up in here? What do y'all think of his book if you've read it? I actually thought it was a good read. Brother Obsidian is a good writer. All right. He's a very good writer. The way he writes is almost like you're talking to him, you know, or he's talking to you. A lot of his stuff in there, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to be a spoiler for y'all who haven't read it yet, but a lot of his writings come from some of his articles. And if you're familiar with Obsidian, you kind of know, how he talks. You can almost hear his voice as you're reading it. And what's good, brother? Perfect Black, my brother, my Chi-Town brother in the house. He has like it's almost like you're talking to him. It's almost like he's doing one of his podcasts. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it for y'all because y'all haven't read it yet. But it's some good stuff in here, man, and it's some funny shit in here too, man. I was reading it, man, and a lot of the stuff in the chapters, man, just had me laughing. The good doctor is in the house. What's good, Doc? Been a while. What's going on, Doc? I'm trying to see what's going on. Brother Obsidian might be standing us the hell up. So we might have to go ahead and pivot and do some other shit. But yeah, because he's done this before, but he always makes it up to me. He has my number and all that shit. He'll go, X-Man, I forgot, and he'll come back on and make it up. But yeah, I was hoping that he would damn show up tonight because we did speak about this. I talked to him when I was because I was on vacation last week. I was down in Florida and I actually spoke to him on the phone and we were talking about it. So, I mean, he knows that we are doing this because we set it up on the telephone. So he might be asleep. I don't know. I asked him about Thursday because I know Thursdays are bad for him, but he said Thursday was good. So here we are, and no freaking Obsidian. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So nobody in here has read Obsidian's book. Wow. Y'all need to read it, man. I'm telling you, you need to read it. You do. And if you hit him up on Cash App, he will actually, send you an autograph copy like he sent me. Y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Y'all see it? Y'all see that? Yeah. It says to Brother Xavier, the proper thought himself, thank you for so much for your support. Mumia, Obsidian, Ali. So if you hit him up, he will send you an autograph copy. Yeah. It's the kind of guy he is. But I don't know what happened to him, folks. So in the meantime, because I'm already here, and hopefully he shows up, but y'all know how I do it. I will pivot and do something else. So I'm going to do this. If you want to come through, y'all know the email, prophetofthought@yahoo.com. Prophetofthought, one word, no caps, @yahoo.com. Come on up, man. Let's talk about it. I might have to flip this into a freestyle, because usually when Brother Obsidian isn't on time, that usually means his ass ain't coming. He done fell asleep and forgot about everything, goddamn it. Because I think he get up at like 3:00 in the damn morning. So, but if you want to come up, go ahead, hit the email, come on up. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it. There's a lot of things going on that we can discuss. We can discuss the Derek Chauvin verdict if y'all want to. We can also discuss the Ma'Khia Bryant shooting if y'all want to discuss that. We can talk about it, folks. We can do it. I see, let me do a little roll call. Let's see who's up in here. Brother JR was good with it. Sir Obadiah was good with it. 1G's was good with it. Brother Sheed in the house. Of course, my man Perfect Black, my Chi-Town brother, the good doctor, of course, is in the house. Doc, when you coming back to to ask the doc. You've been running from me, doc. Been running from me, good doctor. When you coming back, doc, we can pick your brain, because you the type of doctor that we need, because see, you're a psychologist, okay? You're a psychologist, and many of us, including myself, we need our brains to be shrunk. we probably need your time. We need your type of freaking PhD more than we need anyone else. So you gotta you gotta hit me up, doc, and come on through. God damn it, because we all need mental therapy. You know we do. You know we do. But I don't know what the hell happened to Brother Obsidian, man. You know, I might have to call his ass. I don't want to have to do that. Let me see. Let me call him. Wake his ass up, because he might just be sleeping. Because y'all know Brother Obsidian has done this before. Let's see. Find his number, y'all. Let me find his number. Just talk amongst yourselves whilst I make this phone call. Just talk amongst yourselves. It's ringing, so.
Yeah.
Brother Obsidian.
Hey.
This is X, man. You're supposed to be coming through. We're supposed to be talking about the book.
Oh, okay, yeah. What time?
Now.
Okay. All right.
Sent you the link.
Cool.
All right. So I guess he's coming. Guess he's coming, y'all. You know? It's always good to have brothers' numbers, man. You can call them, be like, yo, man, what's good? So momentarily, I guess Obsidian will be coming. God damn it. Something's going on out in the yard, y'all. The beast is going crazy. Somebody must be here. No, there must be somebody just going by because he stopped. All right. Thought I had to go outside and see what the hell was going on. You know, I hear the beast outside going crazy. That means somebody might be trying to breach the perimeter. They might be trying to breach the perimeter. Brother Obsidian. Brother Obsidian.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
What's good with it, man? You forgot about me, man.
Yeah, man, I was knocked out. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I was knocked out in bed. All right, I'm here.
Well,
Okay.
I was thinking you might have had somebody bent over the couch or something.
Nah, man, I was knocked out in bed. Working so hard lately, man. I haven't even had time for any of that. Been just working, just grinding like I don't know what. So
Yeah, I know.
here we go.
Yeah, first and foremost, let me once again congratulate you on the book, man. It's a very good read.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. I actually took it with me when I went on vacation last week because I knew I would get some downtime, you know, when the ladies would go off and do their thing.
Mhm.
And I did some reading on it, you know, while I was down in Florida. And I like your writing style, man. Your writing style, I can actually hear your damn voice while I'm reading it. Very good read. So I dog-eared, you know, because I'm old school, so I did a lot of dog earing.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to be able to get through all the dog ears. I will have to pick it up, but I'll try to get through as much as possible. I'll try to get to the things that kind of really stuck out for me. Let's go here. Let's start here. Chapter 2, the pro-black game, which is weird that you kind of started there. But one thing you said that stuck in my head, and this is on page 31. You said pro-black is to give so many black women who are the least partnered, the most baby mama, and the most desperate hope. In this case, hope for a better black tomorrow. Too bad that better black tomorrow never comes.
Yeah.
Explain that, sir.
Yeah. All right. So the pro black game, the second chapter of the book, is actually follows right after the first one, and that's called the Black Love Machine. And in light of recent events, wow, it's really kind of almost scary, even for me. But what I was saying with the second chapter is that a lot of black women are kind of I don't like using the word being fleeced or anything like that, but I mean it's kind of hard not to say that. A lot of black women are kind of being like taken under because there are a lot of black men um who present themselves as almost like almost savior like, and a lot of black women go for it, and it's really kind of sad. And in the case of the pro-black piece, unlike the Black Love Machine, where these guys present themselves as essentially lover men, lover boy types, the pro-black guys, they present themselves as kind of race men who are going to straighten out the ills of the community, but they're pretty much the same thing that the Black Love Machine guys are. And excuse me, I didn't have enough space to really dive into specific individuals the way I would have liked. So what I did was I just kind of used one individual as kind of like the stand-in for everybody, and that was Dr. Umar Johnson. And
Yeah. In the book, you called him Derek Jackson in a dashiki.
yeah, yeah,
That was funny.
he's kind of that would be that would be roughly the situation with him. And he's had his own moments in flagrante and whatnot. Back when I first got started 6 years ago, I was starting under a cloud because on one side, Dr. Umar Johnson was under some controversy, and on the other was Tommy Sotomayor, although for a different reason. If in his case had to do with, at the time the movie hadn't come out, of Fatherless of America, and people were raising murmuring about that, whether or not he was on the up and up. But with Johnson, he had this moment of being in flagrante with the conscious stripper, and so there was that. And in the years since, he has had various points of I guess you could say mini scandal, and excuse me, and you always got this thing where this is really going to take him out 2 years ago. So and it never happens. He never gets, the death blow is never dealt to him. So, where I'm at with it is that a lot of black women like him. They like what he represents, like what he stands for. So, um,
Well,
I mean,
well, I know.
yeah, go ahead.
Well, in the book, in that same chapter, I believe, in that same chapter, you say, in the main, the track record of real world achievement on the part of the pro-blacks is nil.
Yeah.
Do you think that because you talk about them, selling hope or pushing hope or whatever they're doing, is that the thing? Is that just sell hope and never give any results? Just keep is it this whole keep hope alive mantra? Do you
Pretty
believe that
much.
it's a keep hope alive mantra?
Pretty much. I mean, the pro-black or conscious black or hotep or whatever word you want to use argument has really, I mean, it hasn't moved the needle. You know, I mean, they've been talking about the same things, that they've been talking about, since the 60s at least. So, you know, and one of the reasons why they haven't moved the needle is because, I mean, this is going to sound bad. I mean, do you really expect these people to be able to get anything done? It's kind of like in the same thing on the black love machine side. You can't really expect these people to get anything done.
Mm.
They can't really get anything. I mean, in the case of Derek Jackson, he proved that he couldn't even get his own stuff together.
Yeah, well, it's almost as if, reading the book, it's almost as if they don't have to. They don't have to get anything done. All they have to do is talk about possibly getting things done. They don't really have to do anything, right?
Yep, that's right. They don't have to do anything. It's kind of sad. It is kind of sad, but I mean, it's where we are, and I wrote this, I got finished writing it in early 2020, like February 2020. So, and now it's April, late April 2021, and it really, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I was kind of afraid that the book by the, because we had the pandemic first year and was forced to, knock it back,
Yeah,
essentially a whole
that
nother.
slowed it down because you and I spoke. I interviewed you about April of last year, and you came through and you were talking about it. So I know the whole coronavirus thing kind of set things back a bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I thought it was going to be too late for us to for me to get anything done with it. So I went on ahead and put it out anyway, and I'm so glad that I did because, it came out. I got on it early March. Only a few weeks later, the whole thing with Derek Jackson breaks out. So,
Mm.
talk about perfect timing. I was like, oh, so this thing is really right in the pocket. Alhamdulillah for that. So, yeah. So yeah, it is kind of the Book of Obsidian is kind of sad in a sense because it shows you exactly where we are. And
Yeah.
by the way, and another thing too is that the book had come out. So I got finished writing it in February. I think it was early February 2020. Kevin Samuels is just getting started in his iteration that we know today. The Kevin Samuels we know today. He's just getting underway in the spring of that year, 2020. So by the time the book comes out for spring 2021, Kevin Samuels is now, pretty much world famous at this point. And so you have him on one side and Derek Jackson's self-immolation on the other, which I have been covering him for years. And so, yeah, the book came out at a perfect time. Really, I mean, just really that those two figures, their internet runnings, like I said, Derek Jackson's peccadillos on one side, Kevin Samuels's rise on the other, really punctuated what I was trying to get at with the book. So it's really kind of, in a sense, it's really kind of sad, in a sense.
Yeah. Well, you say in that in your Q&A with Mumia Obsidian chapter, you say black people don't really want solutions. They want performance art.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, they do. You know, I was just earlier today. I was on the air, and this I don't talk about this per se in the book, but earlier I was on the air, and I do address this part in the book about shorter men making better husbands. That was the result of studies by New York University, University of Michigan, and then I didn't talk about it in the book because I didn't know about it at the time. I just found this out. The website Ashley Madison confirms it. So,
mm,
um, and I ask in the book, do black women, care that shorter black men make better husbands? And again, this is before the whole thing broke out with Derrick Jackson. I had argued, no, black women don't care. And it's been only, punctuated by the whole Derrick Jackson story. Um, for all the talk that black women do about cheating and all the rest of it, you would think that they would do something about it, and they don't. So, yeah, it's kind of sad. In the day's show, I was talking about that. Plus, another brother called himself trying to one up me by saying, "Well, there's a study that says that fat women make better make better wives." I said, "Okay, well, most black women in America are fat, so
mm,
that hasn't stopped black women from getting married." Um, so I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is that do we really value marriage and family as much as we claim, particularly black women? Because as it turns out, black men do value it. There are like roughly 500,000 more black men that are married than black women.
yeah.
Black women, of course, like black women, like all women, file for divorce more than black men do. Of course, there are notable exceptions where black men do it, but generally speaking, black women file for divorce first. And as a matter of fact, black women file for divorce more than the general American population. The general American population is around 70%, something like that. Whereas black women do it to the tune of like 80%. Uh,
Mm,
so, and there's more evidence, but the point is that black, in my opinion, in my research and writing and all the rest of it, black women as a group talk a mean game about mom and apple pie, but the truth is, no, they're just not that um, into it. A lot of black women would rather enjoy their independent lives. You know,
mhm.
I mean, I'm
Yep.
not saying that they shouldn't, but what I am saying is that changes the discussion dramatically. Now we got to look at, okay, so because marriage, and this, marriage is the main way of ordering your life, you know, uh, essentially from unto death, basically, and everything that happens in between, kids, illness, um, emergencies, good times, bad times. So if you're not,
Legacy.
yeah, legacy, all that. So if you're not going to get married, that's fine. Then the question becomes, what are you going to do about all these different things? Right
Yeah.
off the rip is children. Okay, if you're not going to get married, what is going to be your approach with regard to kids? Knowing what we know now, that kids that aren't in a two-parent situation, we know the outcomes in most cases. There are notable exceptions, but we know the outcomes. So what is going to be your plan there? What is going to be your plan with regard to, especially in the time in which we live right now, the COVID? Yesterday I was going to go on the air, but didn't, because my neighbor down a couple doors down from me in the same building as me died. She
Mm,
was last heard from the night previous. So today's Thursday, so Tuesday evening, Tuesday afternoon. She didn't report in to work. Her people, these all white folks now, all very concerned about her. So they, called the police, and they got into her apartment, and she was dead.
wow.
So they presume that she died at some point in her sleep overnight. Um, I got to tell you, brother X, I have a hard time seeing that same scenario happening if they were black.
Yeah.
My guess would have been if she was black, we would have found out about it maybe a week later when the body is decomposing and the stench would drive
Yeah.
the body to make a call.
Mm-hmm. I've
So
I've I've seen it. I've been around it. I know people. I mean, it's crazy because in the long term, and I think you and I have discussed this before. In the long term, what I think a lot of women fail to understand is that you're not going to be 30 forever. If you live long enough, you'll be 50, you'll be 60, and possibly 70. And unfortunately, women have a tendency to be more subjective to age-related causes, age-related things, and it's rough for an old woman by herself. It's rough. It's a rough time. I see these old women, man, when I'm out and about.
yeah,
You see these old 70-year-old women, man, barely getting along. You walk by them, they need you to reach up and grab something, from the top shelf. They can barely push the cart. They can barely load the grocery in the car. They can barely drive the car. I mean, but like I always say, every now and then I see something else. I
yeah,
see a couple. I see an old woman with the OG. And guess what? She don't gotta stack those groceries. OG got it. She ain't gotta drive the car. OG got it. When
yeah,
she get home, OG get her old ass in the house. He brings the grocery in the house, and all she gotta do is make her way to that stove and rattle a few pots. Then goddamn it, the OG got everything else under control.
yeah,
That's important. That is important, man. It just is, especially in your latter years. For some reason, we as black people, we think our kids are never going to grow up. We think our black ass ain't never going to get old. I don't know the pathology behind it, brother Obsidian. I don't get it.
yeah.
I don't get it.
It is pretty sad. I mean, and like I said, that event yesterday, I was really struck by how these white folks, I presume they were like coworkers, really, came out for. I Word was that she had received the vaccine about 2 weeks prior. I do not
Mhm.
know to what extent that played a role in her demise. I don't know, but I do know that she had um, she had uh, she had a friends, and she was estranged from some family members, and they just kind of stepped in for her, and it was kind of
Okay.
sad that it was kind of sad as I thought about it and looked at it, like how many black women who choose. I mean, we hear Kevin talking about when you're gonna die alone, and we all kind of laugh at it, but it really drove it home what I saw yesterday, and
Yeah.
how many black women are going to be able to say that they can do what she did,
Yeah.
or what
Yeah.
was done for her, I should say.
Yeah.
I suspect not many.
Absolutely. Because a lot of them just don't have they don't have a network. They don't have people who are around them all the time. Some of them, especially the ones well, I was going to say the ones without children, but even some with children. Cause let's be honest, some of these old biddies, they're just old and miserable, and they got them kids don't even want to be bothered with them. So they're not there checking on them. They don't have people come there checking on them. So they lay in that old ran down apartment and be dead for 2 weeks. And like you said, no one knows anything until they start to smell the scent coming down the hallway. So I mean, and it's sad, man. It's so sad. It's so
Yeah,
sad, man. It's
yeah,
just a sad thing. And I know of stories of that personally. I mean, personally, I know of those stories, you know.
yeah.
But well, I'm jumping around a little bit because this is a very lengthy book, so I want to try to get in as much
Yeah,
as I
yeah,
can.
I wrote it like
So
that purpose. Yeah.
So let's jump into chapter 12. I'm gonna jump back and forth here and there.
Yeah.
Why don't black women just go rent a bay? And I believe you were talking about the summit with Jackson and Labossiere and Ace Metaphor and all those guys, and you said I saw young chippies in their 20s and grannies who looked to be every bit of 70 plus
Oh yeah.
pushing pushing walkers and everything in between. You said the place was so packed that black women lined the walls in standing room only fashion, and all three of the bar rooms were full.
Yeah. 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 It was a hell of a thing to witness. Especially looking back on it now in light of what we know about Jackson today. Um, what I didn't write in the book was that black women weren't there because they cared so much about marriage and what I like to call mom and apple pie. They were there because they were titillated by lust on the part of Jackson. I had a research assistant with me who, because I couldn't go to that event just by myself, stag, because people would look at me strange. So I had to have cover. So I had a female research assistant go with me. And so she goes to the bathroom, to the ladies' room, and she hears all of these sisters talking about what they want to do to Derek in very graphic language. So all that nonsense about self-love and mom and apple pie and all that stuff, forget it. They care less. Um, and I think in light of what we know now, you know, a year after I wrote it, um, it really does raise a lot of questions. And putting that together with what I saw yesterday of my neighbor, who a person I knew and saw every day and liked. And, there's a real question here. If you're not going to quote unquote settle for a guy you can work with, then how are you gonna order the rest of your life? You
Yeah.
know, how are you gonna order who's gonna be the next of kin, who's going to be the contact person to collect your remains and settle your affairs, and all those things are very important.
Mhm. It very much so. I mean, because especially when you talk about our generation, us, we're Gen Xers. So most of us are like, we're like in our late 40s, early 50s now. Um, the boomers are dying off. All right.
Well, quite a
And
few
and
connections are dying off. Look at what happened
oh
to
yeah.
Black
Oh yeah,
Rob
we're
and
next. Yes.
DMX. So I mean, it's not
Yeah.
just baby boomers. There's a lot of there's a lot of Gen Xers are dying off.
Oh yeah. So we're kind of aging out. So we need to start seeing our own mortality. I think that's the problem though with us, man, with
It
many of
just
us.
brought to my attention that the brother Shock G just passed away.
No,
Yeah,
digital underground.
yeah,
Digital underground.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
there you go.
Yeah, I mean we're aging out, and we need to have plans in place if something happens. We talking about life insurance, living will, stuff like that. I mean, I've been into that shit ever since I was like 45. Life insurance, living will. Everybody knows what they're gonna get if my ass fall dead sitting up here tonight. All right. If I die tonight, my wife don't have to create a GoFundMe to put me in the ground, that kind of stuff, man. I mean, it's good to see your own mortality, man. It's good to understand that your ass gonna die one day. I guess we as black people, we think we these invulnerable mutants, and everybody else gonna die, and we gonna continue to live. So I mean, yeah, brother Taylor, me too. Me too. I'm worth more dead than I am alive. That's the truth. I mean, if I die tonight, my wife won't lose nothing. She won't lose the properties. She won't lose the business. She won't lose the cars. She won't lose shit. She won't lose nothing. She won't have to take out a GoFundMe to put me in the ground. So none of that shit, you know. And I think these things are important, and I think we don't put enough thought into them. But let me go into this here, which is also in the chapter of why don't black women just go rent the bay. This is the segment where you talk about a black female listener weighing in, and you say she argues that the real reason why there has been no rent a bay for black women of that type I'm addressing is because it would be a bridge too far for too many of them. Having to resort to renting a man for an evening out on the town would be like a tacit admission of abject and complete failure as a black woman. It would put to bed the many lies that so many black women of this cohort have so deeply invested in, like the high education and salaries and all that comes with it would lead to relationship success. Please expound, sir.
Yeah, a lot of black women. Women of other races. You know, I'm looking at white women here in the United States, and Asian women. Mainly Japanese. They don't have any problems with renting a boyfriend or renting a bae. Black women have a problem with it. I think part of the reason is because of money, but the other reason is because of ego. A lot of black women honestly believe that they got the bomb between their legs, and that's going to bring all the boys out to the yard, despite what real world evidence actually tells them. And it's very impractical. They go to these events, these black love events, and spend money they often don't have, and get nothing for it. And it's all very impractical. So for a lot of black women, it would be admitting that things aren't what they thought they were. And I think white women and Asian women are much more practical and pragmatic than black women are.
Yeah. They say, what the hell? Let me go rent a man and just pretend that he's my boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is a very serious problem because, like I said, I had a neighbor that just died.
Yeah.
And she didn't have a husband, no children.
Died alone.
Yeah.
Died alone. Shout out to Brother Samuels. Died alone. Man, it's just crazy, man. But I'm gonna jump, like I said, I'm gonna jump back and forth. I'm trying to get through a lot of these chapters. We're gonna go to the Sadie Hawkins dance for adults. We're gonna jump to chapter, what is that? Chapter 15. And you say many black women seem to excel at being downright antisocial. They will go to single bars, lounges, and nightclubs, all venues where single men and women go to hopefully meet each other, often within a short-term casual sexual context, and act an utter fool.
That's right.
So what you're saying is they'll go to a place where the idea is to get together, meet, mingle, drink, socialize, but get there and just be totally antisocial the whole time they're there.
Yep.
Which defeats the purpose, obviously.
Yep. And again, here we go again with the prescience of it all, because this just happens to be something that Kevin Samuels is dealing with presently. This whole, mean mugging and black women not wanting to smile and all that sort of thing. And my thinking is this: why are you here, man? I mean, if you don't want to socialize, the argument that a lot of black women, particularly feminist types, feminist activist types, like a Feminista Jones type, they want to make this argument out that this is something that is happening on the street on a daily basis. Okay, fine. Then how do you explain events where it's expected that the sexes will mingle? So, for example, the nightclub, bar, lounge, concert, dinner party, art gallery opening, museum event, any type of event where the sexes are both expected to attend after dark and mingle. Alcohol will be served. Often, sexy romantic singers will perform. I mean, these are all cues these are all mating call cues. So if you're not interested in mating, I get that. For whatever reason, you're not interested in that. Why bother going? Now,
Yeah.
the argument from these ladies will be because they like the music. My thing is listen to the music at home. You want to listen to music? Do that at home. You want to drink and enjoy music? Good. Do that at home. Invite your girlfriends over. Y'all can do that. Why are you going to venues where, let's be honest, the nightclub, these are all hospitality businesses and they all operate on, in this case, black male dollars.
Yep.
Okay. I would, generally male, we're talking about black folks. Black male dollars. It costs money to get in the venue, costs money to buy the liquor and the food, and so on and so forth. You're looking at an entire economy.
Yes.
And this is before the Rona hit. And one reason why a lot of brothers don't want to be bothered is because they got tired of dealing with lovely ladies who are constantly mean and antisocial and essentially see guys as little more as playthings and ATMs. It's not unusual to, hear accounts of ladies who, a guy buys her a drink and she gives it to another guy she's interested in, and stuff like that. And it's one thing to do that in your 20s, but I'm not talking about people like that. I'm talking about people in their 40s, man. I mean, come on. If you don't want to be bothered, stay home. Okay? Men are spending good money to try to holler at you. Now, if you don't want to be bothered, stay home.
Do you think it's a thing, brother Obsidian, where women say, I don't know, I haven't been dating in 22, 23 years. My jersey's been in the Raptors for a long time. But is it that the women who go to these places, they go to these clubs, the ones you describe, the nice clubs with the nice music, and Brian McKnight is performing that night, and all that kind of stuff. Is it just that they want to go out and be seen in their brand new blonde weave, or their brand new dress that they just paid $400 for, or their brand new red bottom shoes that they just spent $600 on, and their earrings, and their makeup? Do they just want to go there and just have people look at them so they can say, "Look, people are looking at me"?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, again, the question becomes, why bother, man? Why are you even here? Why bother? Just stay home, and I mean, as a matter of fact, you don't even have to be bothered with all the hootenanny. You can just get with the guy that you. I mean, nowadays it's very possible. You Tinder and all this. You just get with the guy that tickles your fancy. You go over there, or he comes over here, and y'all do what y'all do, and that's that.
Yeah.
Do
you think that it's more because we live in an online world now, right? And I think oftentimes people are they're more attuned to, picking up the cell phone, texting on the laptop. It almost seems that people today, maybe not just women, but people in general, are just more interactive. They're more into it if it's online as opposed to, when they actually meet and greet, they're less interactive. But you say in that very you say in the you talk about the FTC lawsuit against the Match Group. In that chapter, you say the game is in the field, not online, not on social media. It's in the field. So is that what it is? Is there an apprehension to, quote unquote, being in the field as opposed to, texting and calling and doing all that kind of nonsense?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really sad. Um, the things have broken down between black men and black women to such an extent that we even have to talk about stuff like this.
Yeah,
And what's fascinating to me is, and thank God, I call him Saint Kevin. Thank God for Saint Kevin to doing what he's doing, truly doing the Lord's work. I mean, it took somebody like him to throw a white hot searing light on this. You
Mm.
know, I mean, because and it's funny, and it's usually guys. It's not really women. It's usually guys who want to try to typify what I'm saying as a personal struggle. And in a sense, it is. I mean, I'm just as much a part and parcel of Black America as anybody else. And all the
True.
numbers tell us that we're not doing well in this regard. We're not. We may be
Yeah.
making more money than we did in the past. That's true. We may be more educated than we were in the past. That's true. But on a lot of different measures, we're doing a lot worse.
Yeah.
And one of those measures is black men and black women just can't get along for nothing, man.
Yeah.
We,
You've
we
been
don't
saying
know.
that a long time,
Yeah,
brother. You are consistent with that line. You have been saying it ever since I've been talking to you. You said black women and black men don't get along. You've been
yeah,
saying that for years, brother. And you're right.
yeah.
You have been saying
Really,
that for years, man.
it's
You
really,
have.
really sad. It really is sad. And,
It's what it seems like the only time we get along is when we're horizontal.
that's right.
I mean, once we stand up, we're right back to being at odds with
That's right.
one another again. But I want to jump to the gentlemen have a social network chapter 31. And you say on page 317, you say monkey see, monkey do, or else. You say, as as noted in the intro to today's column, black women in particular and women more generally are heads and shoulders more socially savvy than are black men. They can and will use their social networks for all manner of purposes, personal, economic, and even political, for problems big and small. Black women have always been the engine that powered social network development in Black America, from the church to the sorority to Black social media today. But there's nothing set in stone that this can't or shouldn't change. Black men have every right and incentive to do the same thing or else. Please expound, sir.
Yeah. Well, one thing I've learned over the years in observing a lot of black men is that, and I would hear this a lot, is until Kevin really broke out um into mainstream fame and so forth. The thing I would hear a lot from black men is that there would too many black men. There's a term that a lot of black men love using. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Why are so many black men so quick to give up, so resigned? Why is that? I mean, that the sense of cynicism and nihilism on the part of black men in the black manosphere itself is really, really vexing to me. You know, we're not an aspirational type. We're very resigned to the way of things. Um, most of us don't benefit from it, and I mean, where do you go with that? I mean, I think a lot of black men, kind of have a death wish of their own, and they just don't, have the wherewithal to just get it over with.
Yeah. Yeah, you see a lot of defeatism, you know. You hear it, you hear it in the tone, you hear it in, the verbiage, the things that people say. They have a very defeatist kind of outlook on things. And you're right. You listen to some people, man, and it sounds like they've just given up. Um
They
and
have
and
a
and
lot
they're
of black men have
mad.
given up. A lot of black
And
men
they're
have given
mad.
up.
Yes, and they're angry. They're angry, and it almost appears that within their anger, it's almost like they're angry at themselves for giving up.
Yeah.
That's how it appears to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
No, I think you're onto something. I mean, if you look at a lot of the sniping and the beefs and all the rest of it, well, I mean, what's really at bottom with all that? In my opinion, my own theory is that the beefs, what's really driving and animating it, is a profound sense of frustration
Mm,
of where we are in life.
yeah.
You know, and that frustration only becomes more acute as time goes on. You know, um, a lot of black men, have quit. And I think that's another reason why Kevin gets so much ire, and by extension, yours truly, because we're both the exact same age, and we're both loving life, man. We just hitting our stride,
Yeah.
and that's a real big shock to a lot of black men in the black manosphere, because
Yeah.
I mean, just get right to it. If that's the case, then what does that say about them?
Well, they call us old niggas. You old niggas. You old niggas. And this is what's crazy. Not to veer off and divest, but they say you old niggas, and a lot of these people that call us old niggas, they're only about 10 years younger than us, man.
Yep.
That's about it. They're
And
about 10 years younger than us.
which by definition makes them middle-aged themselves. And it goes back to the whole thing about this obsession on steroids with
Mhm.
youth in Black America, particularly black men. Black men are
There it
scared
is.
to death to get older.
There it is.
I mean,
There it is.
dear life, I mean, this guy's in their 40s still wearing sports jerseys and stuff and presenting themselves as if they're teenagers. I mean, come on, man, really? It's one thing to be a youthful guy. I get that. But it just really goes overboard. The thing about black folks is we can't do anything in moderation. Everything has to be extra.
Yep. Peter Pan syndrome, man. They all want to be Peter damn Pan, not realizing that your black ass is going to get older. All you have to do is live to see it, man. You're
Yeah.
going to get older. See, what I think often happens is that people feel better if they can put you in a classification that they disdain. Ergo, old niggas. They say, oh, you boomers, you Gen Xers, you this, you that. But wait a minute. In 15 years, man, you'll be older than I am now. So I guess you'll be an old nigga too. But see, this is the thing. The reason why these people say this stuff, brother Obsidian, is because, see, they think when they get our age that they're going to know more than us, that they're going to be better off than us. And likewise, they also believe that at their age now, that they're smarter than we were when we were their age. But I'm fine with that, right? I'm fine with that. But don't let me see your black ass in 10, 15 years working at Burger King. All right? Because in 10, 15 years, you'll be an old nigga too. And I better not see you when I walk into Walmart. Because, see, I'll be a real old nigga, but you'll be an old nigga. You better not be greeting me at Walmart, God damn it, when I walk inside of there.
Yeah.
All right? When you're my age.
Yeah.
Because, see, I'm 52. And let me tell you something. I ain't got shit to worry about. Like I said before, if I fall dead tonight, my wife won't lose shit.
Yeah.
You understand? And guess what? You ain't gonna catch me working at Walmart, Burger King, Kmart, none of that bullshit. I mean, when I retire, I'm gonna be retiring from a business that I own. All right.
Yeah.
So while y'all so-called young niggas get to be old niggas, and now you gotta work at freaking Walmart, you know where X ass gonna be? Out on his damn boat fishing, god damn it, and smoking cigars and drinking beers.
Yeah.
But let me jump to one of my favorite chapters. She'll have the salad.
Yeah.
This chapter, man, it was worth reading everything else just to get to this chapter. But let me jump on this. You say, page 368, you say, women who are fat suffer enormous social and economic consequences. A
They
new
do.
study has shown they are much less likely to marry than women of normal weight and are more likely to be poor and to earn far less. Please expound, sir.
Yeah. I mean, we can. I mean, there's been efforts to try to reverse that in terms of body positivity and stuff like that. But for men that are successful, it ain't working.
Mhm.
They're just not having it. Um,
Mhm.
that may work on poor guys, but successful guys want what they want. And so if you want to be a big girl and you want to try to get you a quote unquote high value man, good luck with that.
Oh, yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you got big rich girls who don't have the quote unquote, millionaire guy, and some of these women are rich. They're rich, they got plenty of money, and
Yeah.
they walking around by themselves. If they're lucky, they can get some old broke ass white man, to come in there and spend up all their money.
Well, case in point would be Lizzo.
Mhm.
Lizzo does very well for herself, but I mean, what man of any consequence is going to want to, be with that?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, that's harsh, but it's the truth. Men
yeah,
that work hard to make something out of themselves, they want trophies, and yeah, you're one of them. If you're a woman, you're one of the trophies. That's just how that goes. So I mean, and no amount of wokeism or wokeness or social justice or none of that's political correctness. None of that's going to change it.
no, no. Because the reason why, and people say, the opposite, but the reason why all this stuff is pushed, the body acceptance and fat shaming and all this kind of nonsense, is because they realize that, men are a hard sell. So they have to throw these images at you. They have to have these 300-pound freaking women standing up there in lingerie and then forcing it down your throat because they already know the resistance is there. Because if the resistance wasn't there, they wouldn't have to push it so hard. They wouldn't have to talk about it so much. They know the wall of resistance is already there. I think they're merely trying to just put cracks in it and knock it down. The wall is already there.
Yeah, it's not going to work. I mean, now
Nah,
especially, I can't keep referring back to Kevin. Um, it's not going to work.
no,
Black women can get as angry as they want about it. Lizzo herself could try to do something. It's not going to change it. Black men who are successful want what they want. The end.
yeah,
And there
pretty,
are women, and if black women won't comply, there are women who will.
yeah, yeah. And that's pretty much the bottom line. That's the bottom line. I mean, it's you're not going to be able to force men to want something that they don't freaking want. The only thing you're going to be able to do, if possible, is try to become what they want. That's it. I mean, that's it. You're not going to be able to do anything else if you're not prepared to become what men want. That's it. Like you say, the end. Um, but we're gonna stick with she'll have the salad. And you said a study found that fat women were more likely to lose socioeconomic status independently of their family's social status or income and independently of how well the women scored on achievement tests when they were adolescents. The fat women were 20% less likely to marry, of course, had household incomes that were an average of $6,710 lower and were 10% more likely to be living in poverty. Uh, so fatness equals poverty, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It's tied to socioeconomic status. And even if in the case of we'll take somebody like a Stacey Abrams, let's say, highly educated, very successful, didn't win a political office, but she's, got national stature and stuff like that. she's still perceived to be lower status because she's fat.
Mhm.
Fat is associated with lower status, you know, and this is especially true with women.
Yeah.
Men can mitigate against that to some extent, but with women in particular, and we could debate whether or not that's fair, and I would say it's not. I would say right off the rip, it's not fair. Life ain't fair.
Yeah, it's not.
So, yeah, if you want to tell me it's not fair, if you want to tell me it's sexist, if you want to tell me it's even borderline misogynistic, fine. But still, it is what it is. Ironically
Yeah.
enough. And women that present as that are perceived as, I hate to say this, but are perceived as less than. That's just all, especially in the realm of mating.
Yeah.
And particularly in the realm of mating for the better off guys. Um, you look around and you look at the better off guys, by and large, with very few notable exceptions, they're not getting with Stacey Abrams and Lizzo. They're just
Yeah.
not.
They're not checking for those women are invisible. Okay. If you're a millionaire, I mean, a woman that weighs 300 pounds is like, even though she's 300 pounds and she's like 5 feet wide, she's still invisible. She's invisible to those
Yeah,
guys, man.
yeah, true.
And
I happen to know of
and
a gentleman's club, not a place for strippers. I'm talking about an actual gentleman's social club
Mhm.
in New York City that actually has height, dress and weight requirements for the
Wow.
ladies in order to get in the place. Yeah,
Mm.
and I say that's how it
Um,
should be. Men are
yeah.
men are paying good money. I mean, I belong to a social club.
Mm.
Everybody knows this. I belong to the Pyramid Club. They cost me a nice little penny every month, and I haven't even been able to go there over the past year because of the pandemic. But I'm still paying a pretty penny,
Mhm.
and I pay good money to be surrounded by good-looking women.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. It just seems like, well, I guess because it's such an epidemic. It's such an epidemic in Black society that you're not going to get people to lose weight. So what's the next step? Try to normalize the fatness. Try to make the fatness normal. Try to make it
Yeah,
seem like this is who we are. Our bone structure. Slavery. Our stress. What we're going through, and all this old kind of nonsense, which is a bunch of bullshit, if you ask me. But why not normalize it? Because it's such an epidemic. I think black women, to the tune of like 80% are overweight, and 65% of said 80% are morbidly obese, which comes out to, you know, no, 80% of that 80%, I believe, are the numbers, which comes out to about 65% of women who are morbidly obese. That's two-thirds who
yep,
are one hamburger from a heart attack and one cupcake from a goddamn coronary.
yep.
So what man, and well, I can't say that because I be seeing some hoes that's pretty huge. They have kids trailing behind them. But what man is going to get on bended knee for a woman that's twice his size?
Well, to be brutally frank, the men that by definition have less career success, less money, less ambition,
Ambition.
less
Yep.
less I hate to say this, less intelligence, less
Yep.
the whole, just less across the board, to tell you the truth.
Oh yeah. Less investments, own less property,
Yep.
all that shit. Cause guess what? You don't want to share. I mean, you don't want to share your stuff with somebody who, you know, they may die tomorrow because they 350 pounds. They probably got five, they probably got high blood pressure, hypoglycemia, bad knees, heart murmur. I mean, what people don't understand is this, and I don't want to get on fat folks, too much, because I got fat folks in my family, and I say the same shit to them. What people don't understand is that more people die from obesity related causes than drinking and smoking combined.
Well, the whole coronavirus situation is a case in point. I mean, if you have a serious weight problem, you're at major risk for contracting and dying from coronavirus.
Yes.
So, you know,
Yes.
yeah. And by the way, the lady that passed away, my neighbor, she was, although she was white, she was also overweight. So,
She's obese. She's
yeah,
obese.
yeah,
I
she had
mean,
a weight problem.
and it's a health thing. Like, I mean, you talk about this stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are just, you're just thinking about a woman's looks, and that's all you think about." I mean, first and foremost, that's the first thing that attracts you to a woman, what she looks like, right? Isn't that the first thing?
That's right.
You don't look at a woman and you say, "Wow, I bet she's got a great personality." No, you look at her and you like, "God damn, she got a nice body. Damn, she's cute. Damn, she's, whatever." That's the first thing you see, right? And then after that, it's the health piece, like, because if you're obese, like I said, you're apt to be diabetic. You're apt to have high blood pressure. You're apt to not be able to take a flight of steps without hacking like you just ran a marathon. You can go on and on and on. It's a health thing more than anything else. They should be concerned with that. Forget what you're looking like. You know, don't you want to extend your life? Don't you want, because see, you can't do much with what you look like. Okay, genetics is genetics. All right, what your face look like, that's that. But weight is something you can change. You can change how much you weigh. All
Yeah.
right, that's something you have control over. What's that thing you used to say all the time? Back up off the table.
That's
You
right.
can, yes, you can change your weight. That's something you have control over. And what I think it is we live in a society where everybody wants to do what they want. Now we just got finished talking about how obesity in women is perceived as being lower on the socioeconomic scale, poverty, things of that nature, right?
Right.
But a lot of the people who are these overblown, bloated 300-pound women, a lot of these people aren't rich. A lot of these people aren't, middle class. I mean, you go into neighborhoods where the poverty is high, and what do you see? Fat ass women. Now,
Yep.
how the hell is everybody walking around fat and y'all ass broke? Now, people will tell you, "Oh man, it's the food, it's the food." Yeah, it is the food. If you eating the shit 25 times a day,
Yep.
it is the food. I mean, because even if, let's say, for instance, you are in the quote unquote food desert, as they talk about the food deserts, shouldn't that be, shouldn't that be in moderation? Being that you're in a place where there's not a lot of nutritional food, there's not a lot of good shit to eat, don't you think that alone should prompt you to eat less of the bad shit? Or am I reaching here?
What's interesting about the concept of a food desert is that I think automatically of an actual desert where water is scarce. So the equivalent of a food desert, the way we're talking about it now, would be a guy in the desert that's drinking and pissing a lot of water out of nowhere. I
Yeah.
mean, if you got a food desert, that means getting food is scarce, and your body should reflect that.
Hmm.
So I never that was like an oxymoronic statement to me. The idea of a food desert never made sense.
Yeah. To me too, because like I said, man, I go to places like New York, and Jersey, and I know people that's in the hood, and I be down in those hoods, and I see a lot of fat ass, broke ass people, and it's surprising to me that people can complain about what's not there. So, like you said, if you're in a food desert, how your ass weigh 350 pounds? You should be the skinniest people walking around, because ain't no good shit to eat. Ain't no food. Ain't no good food to find. So, everybody should be walking around, looking like Asians and shit. But
That's right. You're right.
I'm trying to stay serious, but I was laughing like a motherfucker when I read this chapter. You you also say in that same chapter, you said, unless you are seriously ambitious, talented, successful, and just downright lucky, like the three big sisters mentioned above, you were talking about, the three big sisters. You said chances are very, very high that you will be poor. Any black man that you can attract will also be poor, and that you're likely not to marry either. So is that it? Is it that the problem is you got one poor person getting with another poor person, and those poor people never marry? Therefore, the cycle continues of poverty and BS and fatness and all that kind of stuff. Please
Very much
expound,
so.
sir.
Very much so. Sociologists have done this. Eden and Cephallus talked about this back in 2005. Promises I Can Keep, and there have been others who talked about it as well. So yeah, as the we're kind of like repeating the Gilded Age to a certain extent, where there's a lot of what they call income inequality, and the people who are doing well are doing really well, and the people who are not are really not.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of where we are. And especially the people who don't have a foundation. If you're a woman and you're alone in the world, you probably took a big hit during the whole pandemic thing. Because I know when we went through it, because my wife is a medical esthetician, and during the corona, they shut her shop down. She couldn't run her shop. But me, I just kept on chugging along. They ain't closed my shop or none of that shit. I'm still, in fact, business increased by about 35%. So I think, I wondered that if she was just on her own, by herself, and they draw the curtain on her business, she's screwed. She's screwed unless she gonna get out there and walk the strip, or start selling weed or some shit like that.
You say that. I was watching this brother Brandon Rashad or something like that. He's like a rapper. I guess he's like an independent rapper. He's on YouTube. And somebody had sent me a video that he did just the other day where he met an IG model, went over to out in LA, went over to her house, and he thinks he's going to go over there and hit it. And before he gets to get ready to make the move on her, she says, how much you going to pay me? And he said, excuse me? And she said, yeah, I charged 3 bands to hit this.
Wow.
And she went on to say, because they got into a conversation about it. She said, she said, first of all, I know you got it because I see your subscribers and whatnot. So I know you got the money. So I know that's not an issue. She went on to say that, how do you think I keep this nice place and take care of my daughter? And you want to explore this body, you got to pay. And she went on to say that lots of rappers and pro athletes and the like, when they hit up these IG models, they paying out of pocket. So I say all of that to say that along with that, on that end, and you got the OnlyFans piece on the other end. Yeah, a lot of black women are, essentially, walking the blade, so to speak. So they're out there on the blade in one way or another. And this is yet another situation when you don't have a man.
Yeah.
When you don't have a man and time gets hard,
Yeah. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, if you're going to go that route, you more than likely have to look like something. I mean, you can't go that route and you weighing in at like 300 pounds and you like 5'4". I don't think you can go the OnlyFans route or the escort route or the IG route where they dropping coins on you, to come through and hit it. I don't think you can go that route if you're like 5'3" and you weigh 300 pounds.
No,
I don't think that's an option for you.
no.
Yeah, that's not an option for you.
No.
I just don't.
And to be brutally frank, if you're too old,
Yes, that too.
that's a thing that works against you. So I mean, I'm not saying that none of this is kind or fair. I'm just telling you what the reality is. If you're a black woman that's not, drop dead gorgeous,
Hmm.
or you're too old. I mean, you're in a bad situation because this pandemic. I mean, we're in the thick of it now, year 2. I say it's going to
Hmm.
be another year, 3 years in total before it all straightens itself out. And a lot can happen
Absolutely.
in 3 years.
Absolutely. And especially if you're someone who's kind of squandered your life, you don't have no savings to fall back on, you don't have, nothing invested, that you can kind of lean on, during the tough times and all that kind of shit. If you don't have that kind of thing, man, you messed up in the game. All right. I mean, you're messed up in the game. You by yourself. You don't have no dude around, to kind of supplement your lifestyle, because you done lost your job at wherever. All right. And if you was a person who was like kind of in between jobs in the first place, you're really screwed because see, you don't have anywhere to go now. There's no direction to go. You're just kind of floating in limbo. And I say again, if you want to go, the IG model route or the OnlyFans route or something like that, you best be looking like something because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of goddamn competition out there. So if
It
you
is.
if you
It is.
if you one of them big uns, if you a big un, I don't know how good you're going to fare, but let me I'm a jumper. I'm jumping around a little bit because I don't want to keep you too long because I know you tired. I know you one of those three
Yeah,
o'clock
man,
in the morning.
I'm
I know
wiped
you.
out, and I ain't gonna lie
Yeah,
to you.
I know you one of those 3 o'clock in the morning, brother. So I'm gonna cut you some slack, but I'm gonna get you back on here to talk about the rest.
Yeah, we
Let's
can pick it up and do it again. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's jump into the 10 Obsidian Commandments. And I went down to number 9 because you talk about gentlemen having a social life. And you said you should have the appropriate attire in your wardrobe for socializing: business suits, sport coats and blazers, slacks and button down shirts, ties, and ascots. My personal favorite. Of course, shoes, dress boots, and for those more casual affairs, nice jeans, khaki sweaters, pleather jacket, and the like. Your wardrobe should also include at least one tuxedo for the purposes of attending formal affairs. It is truly amazing how many black men today do not own a tux. And the last time they wore one, if they did at all, it was at the high school prom or wedding. Please expound, sir.
Yeah, gentlemen. Yeah, like I said, gentlemen have a social life. Now, of course, given what's going on these days, kind of hard to really get into that. But it's a good time to prepare because eventually this thing is going to pass over. It can't last forever. So it's a good time to build up your wardrobe and get your all your ducks in a row because gentlemen do have a social life. Whether you have a lady friend or wife, girlfriend, boo, whatever, whether you have that or not, you still have a social life. You know,
True.
and that should be
True.
part of it. And you should be, prepared accordingly. I get tired of seeing guys our age looking like teenagers.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with looking age appropriate for a man. As a matter of fact, that looks good on a man is age appropriate. The women, the people that should have a problem with it are women. I mean, because let's face it. I mean, we can debate it, but it's hard to be an older woman, man. You have to really, keep yourself up to compete. Even if you're a MILF, you still got to be able to compete with women your daughter's age.
Yeah.
For men, it's not as hard.
Yeah.
It actually works with you. So lean into it.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, you know, uh, I think, like you said, man, earlier, I think is that whole Peter Pan syndrome, guys, 40s, 50s, because I see people when I'm out and about, guys that I know, man, they got gray hair and, they older than me and, they got their pants hanging off their ass and, they got the cap turned to the back and, I mean, if guys, when I see dudes like that are like my age, all right, when I see that shit, it makes me think that these people, these brothers might have been products of bad parenting. It makes me think that these are people who just cannot adapt to the quote unquote social norm. It also makes me believe that these dudes don't really believe they are the age that they are. These dudes still think they're 30, even though they're 50. They still believe they're 30. In their head, they're 30, even though they're 50. That's what I think when I see that kind of stuff. Now, if brothers can pull it off, more power to them. I just know that shit ain't for me. All right. That shit ain't for me. I mean, I'm a grandfather. All right. So I can't be dressing the same way my fucking teenage granddaughter dresses. Like, I have a 12-year-old grandson. All right. Me and him shouldn't have the same dress code. All right. We just shouldn't. All right. I should look like his grandfather when I show up. Me and
Yeah,
him shouldn't be wearing the same style of shit. Me
yeah,
and him shouldn't have to say, like I said, we shouldn't have the same dress code. Now I'm gonna ask you one more thing, then I'm gonna let you go. Cause like I said, I know you're tired.
yeah, man.
And this also is in the 10 commandments of Obsidian, the 10 Obsidian Commandments. You say you have a right to pursue happiness. And I want this point to be clearly understood here. Pursue happiness, not a right to get it. As I've stated above, no black woman or any woman for that matter owes you anything. Granted, but you are not obligated to put up with black women simply because they're black, and so are you either. Simply put, today's black women in the main aren't fun. They're more akin to a community organizing effort or a Mr. Fix It project, like a jalopy or a rundown blighted trap house. I don't know about you, but my idea of fun ain't getting with a sister who is the walking, talking equivalent of a This Old House episode.
Yeah,
I gotta give it to you, man. It's a good read, man. I enjoyed it. Uh, I suggest y'all get out and get it. It's the Book of Obsidian. Um, Brother Obsidian, tell everybody how they can get it. Uh, how they can get an autographed copy like me, all that kind of stuff. And if you want to, go ahead, put your link in the chat and whatnot, for the people who want to go ahead and buy the Book of Obsidian.
yeah. You can get it anywhere now. It's worldwide. Amazon, Book Baby, Scribed, Books a Million, you name it. And as a matter of fact, it'll be available in paperback on Amazon tomorrow, Friday, April 23rd. You can also get it directly from my publisher, Book Baby, the Book of Obsidian. Book Baby is a Philly-based uh, company, and I
Mhm.
chose them to be the publisher for all my works and my publishing imprint, Obsidian Media Publications. And you can get a personally autographed signed copy directly from me by sending $35 or more to my Cash App $ Obsidian Radio or to my PayPal www.paypal.me/Obsidian Talk Radio. And please don't forget to include your name and address when you go either through my Cash App or PayPal, and I'll be happy to send you out an autographed copy of the Book of Obsidian.
There it is, folks. And this is just one of, because you got 3 books, right? This is just your first one. You got
Yeah,
2 more
yeah,
coming down the pipe.
yeah. I've got 4 books
Oh,
in
damn.
various
3
stages of
more.
production.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, the idea, the plan was to put out one book a year during the 2020s. So
Okay.
we'll see
Okay.
how it goes. Yeah.
And I assume that this book is doing very well. Um,
Yeah, yeah, it is doing well, selling well, and my publisher is very pleased about that, and so we're going to continue.
well, once again, man, I appreciate you coming through, brother Obsidian. I got a lot of respect for you, brother. congratulations once again. And I appreciate you getting the book to me so quick, man. I appreciate that too, brother.
Yeah, I had no idea you was going on vacation, so I'm glad it came quick enough so you could
Yeah,
grab it with you on
yeah,
vacation. I'm very,
yeah.
very, very pleased about that. Thank you
Yes,
so
man.
much for having me, and
Absolutely.
thank you so much for all your
Absolutely.
support over the years. I appreciate it.
Oh, you got it, man. And once again, man, congratulations, man. Good stuff, man. I'm looking forward to the next volumes, man, coming down
Yeah,
the pipe, man.
I'm working on the next book, and I'm hoping that would be dropping in the fall, and
Okay.
that next book will be for the ladies this time around. So we'll see. We'll see
Okay.
how it goes.
Yeah, well, I got to get you back at some point because I only got through like half of the stuff I want to ask you about.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
it
Well,
all
I'll
in
be
and shit.
glad to do that. I'll be glad to do it.
Yeah, we'll link up. And my brother, man, peace, man. I appreciate you, brother Obsidian, man, and thanks for coming through, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good night.
Got it, man. Peace, brother. Yeah. Brother Obsidian finally made his way here, man. He said he was laying down, so that means I woke his ass up. So I didn't want to keep him too long. I only had planned on keeping him like an hour and a half, and I kept him like exactly an hour and a half. Yeah, man. Go ahead, order the book. Hit the brother up. The book is the Book of Obsidian, a manual for the 21st century Black American gentleman. You won't be disappointed. He's a very good writer, very good literary style. Reading the book, you will hear Obsidian's voice while you're reading it. And it's a lot of funny shit in it too, man. It's a lot of hilarious shit in it, man. And yeah, I'm happy for the brother, man. It's an accomplishment. He says he has 3 more books coming down the pipe. So get on out there, man. Support the brother, man. He said the book is worldwide now. So you can probably pick it up anywhere. And if you want an autographed copy, just hit him up, like on his Cash App, $ Obsidian, or hit him on his PayPal, and you can get your autographed copy. I don't know how much further we're going to go. I don't know if y'all want to come up and shoot the shit, talk some shit. I don't know. What y'all want to do? Y'all want to come up? I guess I can open it up for a few minutes. Go ahead, hit me in my email. Y'all know what it is. prophetofthought@yahoo.com. That's prophetofthought, one word, no caps, at yahoo.com. Y'all come up here and talk about anything. If you want, I got some time. It's only 11. Yeah, it's like 11 o'clock. We can shoot the shit up until, I guess, 12 or something like that. So what y'all think, man? What y'all think? Y'all actually got to get a little bit of the book without even reading it, to be honest, And there's a lot of stuff I wanted to ask him. But like I said, I knew the brother was tired. I mean, I have a lot of parts of it dog-eared. I was just kind of jumping around, man, from spot to spot to spot to spot. Man, I got it dog-eared in like the 75 different places. Because a lot of the stuff, man, that was in there, man, I thought was hilarious. I thought a lot of the stuff in it was very serious. And I thought a lot of the stuff in the book, man, was right on target, man. It was right on target. I mean, a lot of the shit is spot on. But if you listen to Brother Obsidian, you listen to the way he talks, a lot of that is in the book. Now, a lot of y'all probably say, well, we don't got to read the book because, we've heard Obsidian before. And when I first ordered the book, that's what I was prepared for. I was prepared to just, read a lot of stuff that I had already heard from the brother. But believe it or not, there's a lot of shit in there that you haven't heard from him. Believe it or not, a lot of the stuff in there surprised me. The way he thinks, the way he kind of surmises and assesses shit. And the way he talks about us as men, man. You know, I mean, it really surprised me, especially, you know, when you get, you know, close to the closing chapters, the ending chapters, you know, the way he talks about men, because I'm a true believer that brothers like Obsidian, they just want black men to be at peace. They want black men to exercise their options. They don't want black men to be pigeonholed. I don't believe he wants black men to be pigeonholed. You know, he doesn't want black men to feel like we are obligated to anything or anyone, even the quote unquote black society or the black pathology or the black ideology. I don't believe brothers like Obsidian want that for black men, because I'm sort of like that. I mean, I want brothers to win first and foremost. I want brothers to win. And I don't want brothers to have to live a life that doesn't bring them peace. I want brothers to be at peace while they're winning. And I don't want brothers to live some life and have to follow some freaking pathology because we've been taught that, you know, this is what you have to do. You have to remain in the hood. You have to be around black folks. You have to marry a black person. You have to do this. You have to do that. I just don't think that that's healthy for brothers, especially if brothers are doing it for the simple fact that they want to follow the whole, you know, black pathology that has been laid out before us, man. Brothers should be able to make choices with their life. Brothers should be able to do the things that bring them peace. Brothers should be able to do the things that bring them success. Brothers should be able to do the things, man, that help them win, no matter what that is, and no matter who don't fucking like it. Because when it all comes down to it, man, it's your life. It's your life. Now, people will tell you, you know, man, this individual shit. But when it comes down to it, man, it is the individual. Regardless of what I say to you, you have to live your life, man. You do. You can't live your life for me. You can't live your life for the people that's on this goddamn internet, on YouTube, because they say you should do it. You have to live your life for you. You have to do the things that make you happy. You have to do the things that bring you success. You have to do the things that allow you to sleep at night, regardless of what other black people are doing. Regardless. So don't think, man, you got to get caught up, man, in this this whole fucking ideology, man, and you have to follow a certain rhythm because you're black. That's BS. Because guess what? The people that are telling you to do that, they're not doing it themselves. They may get up here and say that shit. They ain't doing that shit. Half the shit you hear up here on the goddamn internet is a bunch of BS. Everybody up here is trying to be characters, telling you to do shit that they are not doing, have not done, or have no intention on doing. All right? And like Brother Obsidian said, the real work is in the field, man, not online. And that's with anything. Whether it be you trying to set a course for your life, whether you trying to establish yourself economically, whether you out there looking for a woman, whatever it is, the real work takes place on the ground, man. It don't take place on this microphone or on this goddamn YouTube crap. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. And anybody who says different is insane. It's insane. Ain't no groundbreaking shit going on here. Dollar Wash, appreciate that, brother Dollar Washer, with the $5 super chat. He said, like I said before, at the end of the day, you have one life to live in the whole history of existence of reality. Exactly. Exactly, brother Dollar Washer. Exactly. You know, at the end of it all, man, You're going to have to live your life, regardless of what the hell we saying up here. We ain't at your house. We ain't at your job. We ain't giving you no money. We ain't guiding you through life. When I reach and I close this laptop, all of you go away. You go away. And you don't come back until I open it again. That's the reality. That's the reality. For me, and a lot of you, for you too. For you too. Appreciate that $20 super chat, Lady Mayat. She says, tell it, sir. Keep bringing the truth. Open your mind. Yeah. Yeah. Because I will never tell you, okay, this is what I won't do. I won't tell you people to do anything that I have not already done, in the process of doing right now, or getting ready to do. I'll never tell you people that. Because how can I come up here and tell you to do shit that I'm not doing, or shit that I haven't done already? That's stupid. Because who should be the first person to take your advice? You. You. You should be the first person taking your advice. Not me, not y'all out there in the internet world. You. And I also won't be a person to tell you not to listen to people. I won't tell you that either. But what I will say is I'm not listening to them. I'm not. Not when it comes to my life. Now people will say, oh man, you just an old nigga. Yep. Yep. Just an old nigga. But I didn't get to be an old nigga by being a dumb young nigga. You understand? Yep. I'm an old nigga. And let me tell you something. I'm an old nigga who don't got a too hard of a life. I work hard. Got to. I run a business. But goddamn it, I play hard too for an old nigga. All right? Play hard too. So it is what it is. You know that line, it is what it is. Like that brother Obsidian said. But it's true. Shit. You think I'm going to listen to any of these Negroes up here? Because I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. Much of what's going on the internet, is just entertainment, man. To me. Let me speak for myself. To me. All right? To me. Now, 10, maybe 20% of it is informative. You might just learn something from it. But to me, most of this shit, is just entertainment to me, man. I mean, I gotta be honest. It's fucking entertainment, man. It just is. Fucking entertainment. You know? I'm sorry. And I know that probably bothers people because, you know, some people, they're like, oh, man, you need to take this shit more serious. Hell no. I refuse to take it more serious, Negroes. I refuse. You know? I refuse to take this shit more serious, man. Get up out of here. You know, I do this shit because I like doing it. You know, I mean, And for the people who make money at it and this is their job and all that, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, that's them. But a person like me, I could never do this full time. Number one, I don't make enough money at it. Number two, it's too time consuming. You know, it's too time consuming for me. I could never get this to the point where it would match what I do for a living. Not even fucking close. I mean, not even close. I mean, a lot of times when I get up here and I'm up here for 2-3 hours, I think about how much money I would have made in 2-3 hours if I was out working. Not even close. Brother Taylor.
What's happening, boss man?
What's going on, man?
Same old stuff.
Yep.
Different day, same smell.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hey,
Absolutely.
but he right. I've been saying, I bet you I say it is what it is at least once a day.
Yeah.
I guarantee you I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it just some things, but what I mean by it is, I mean, some things, whether I give it my attention or not, it's still going to be, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's not going to change.
It's still going to be. It ain't going to change.
Yeah. It's not going to change.
Yeah,
so it is what it is. What it is.
Yeah, but man,
go
I'm
ahead.
trying to tell you, you right on this. Some people go too far. You know what I think it is, brother X? I think some people, not all, and I think it's so silly that you gotta clarify saying not all the time. I mean, some people just so damn shallow, like, you know, not all women. Well, of course, I ain't met every woman on the planet, and I don't want to meet every woman on the damn planet. So why do I gotta keep saying not all? But some people live vicariously through other people through the damn internet.
Yes. Yes.
That I'm so. Like, I don't know why it took me so long to figure that one out.
Huh?
It look, man, and look at this this, and it's some crazy stuff going on here. Look at this guy. There's what's his name? EDP 445. This YouTuber almost had 2 million subs or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, was going to thought he was going to hook up with a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah. 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 Just insane, man.
What are these people doing? But you're right, man. You got to get out of here. They got to get out here and live their own life.
Yeah.
Because whether you like this YouTuber or not, or this, that, and other, you know, I mean, okay, X can think this of me. Let me look at my phone bill. Damn, still the same.
Still
X
the same.
Can think, huh? Same.
Let me look at this car note. Damn, still the same.
God damn it. Let me pull up. I better, I'm going to pull up. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. When I pull up to the fuel, because I got to fill up the truck that I was driving today, and it takes about $450 to fill it up. Mm-hmm. And when I pull up to the pump, I better check my email and check my comment section on my YouTube, see if it changed. Then look at the price at the pump. Damn, still the same.
Still the same.
You gotta live. You still gotta live. What this other stuff. If these people can't affect your daily life or the outcome of whatever you're trying to do, like you said, they're entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're only viable if you can affect the outcome of my life. Mm-hmm. Now I gotta pay you some attention whether I like you or not.
Exactly.
Because you effing with my life. And man, you had me over here dying laughing, talking about 5'10" tall, 350, 5 foot wide, 350 pounds. How you so big on a food desert? You should be looking like an Asian.
Yeah,
I'm
you should
like,
be
man,
thin.
X
You should
got
be
me on the
thin as an
floor over
Asian.
here. See, I know you wasn't trying to be funny, but it was funny.
Because
Man, I'm like,
oh,
but make
you
that
see
make
what it
sense.
is. You see what it is, brother
Yeah.
Taylor. I mean, there's so many nuances within, Black society. We're always, a lot of us are always complaining. We're complaining about the white man. We complain about the white power structure. We complain about men aren't building a community. We complain about all this kind of crap that's going on around us. But with all this stuff going around us, what do we see? We always talk about how men, let's start with how men aren't doing anything, how Black men aren't building, how Black men aren't this. But somehow these same people who are always talking about how Black men aren't building and Black men aren't doing anything, these women are still having babies with
Say
these
it.
guys.
Ooh, speak to them.
If men ain't shit, it should be a lot of childless women out there. We should be overrun with childless women. I mean, that's just my
Yeah,
assertion.
no, you're right. I mean, if you want to apply math to it,
Yep.
so why are there more childless men than there are childless women if men ain't shit?
Exactly.
So basically, you had a kid by ain't shit dude, or you done had multiple kids, especially the ones, I bet you know a couple of them that got multiple kids, and each baby got a different daddy.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
know what that tells me? You ain't shit.
Mhm.
Because I mean, okay, you keep effing up. What are you doing something wrong? It's like, how do you keep hitting yourself in the head with a hammer? Put the hammer down.
Yep.
Okay. Step one of not hitting yourself in the head with the hammer is put the hammer down.
Exactly.
But you won't do it. He ain't shit. But was he ain't shit when y'all was doing the do, or he just became ain't shit after y'all was doing the do?
Exactly.
Can't get them to answer it. Can't get them to answer it.
They don't have an answer, man, because when you ask these questions of people, what you're really doing is, you're putting a mirror to people. And one thing about Black folks, I don't think we like mirrors because, and let's go to the whole, Black people live in food desert shit. That's why we all fat. Now, if you're telling us there's, like I was telling Brother Obsidian, if you're telling us that there's no good food around, y'all forced to eat, BS from the corner deli and all that kind of stuff. If food is so scarce and nutrition is so scarce and all this kind of stuff, how the hell are you 300 and 400 and
exactly?
I mean, you must be taking in a lot of this unhealthy shit, which
You're eating
goes
a lot of it and doing a lot of nothing.
Exactly, which goes back to who? Goes back to you.
Yeah, the
Goes
person
back
staring at you in the mirror.
Exactly. Goes back to you. But I think what often happens is we find ourselves dealing with people who are always looking for something external outside of themselves to blame for their condition. There is a notion that things that go wrong with Black people are always someone else's fault. It can be assigned to something else, whether it's a woman who has 5 baby daddies, it's all these 5 baby daddies' fault. If it's a person who's 400 and 500 pounds, it's white society's fault. There's not enough good stores, not enough good food around. So we live in this society, or we live in this bubble where we can always assign whatever condition, especially if it's something bad. It's never those people's fault. It's never black people's fault. We
No.
can always assign it to some other shit. We can take that shit. People will take that shit all the way back to Jim Crow and slavery,
Yeah.
but you won't take it back as far as when you were younger, you were stuffing your face with this shitty food. When you were coming up with your mama, she was stuffing your face with this shitty food. Like you kind of skip over a few levels of causation to make it seem like, you know, there's some external force that has got you in this condition, and you are hands off from your own condition. That's what I never understood. You know, when I hear these kind of arguments, man, it's just crazy to me, man. I don't get it. I don't
Me
get it.
neither. And I say, I mean, you just woke up this morning. When you went to bed last night, you had a PhD. You was a 160, 155 pounds when you went to bed. And then you woke up, you was broke, 350 pounds, and 5 kids was tugging at your pants leg, calling you mama. I don't think that's the way it happened.
The next day.
Yeah, you wake up in the morning. Why does my back hurt? Why does my feet hurt? Why am I so big? Whose kids is these? Them young kids.
Whose kids is these?
Who kids these? Well, no, I said it wrong. It's whose kids these is. Whose kids these is? They your kids. Come on now.
Crazy. Well, let me ask you something, Brother Taylor.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that this this COVID thing, do you think it kind of exposed is it a case of the emperor has no clothes?
It exposed a lot of people.
Did that happen?
Oh, it exposed a
COVID
lot
shit?
of people. It exposed people in my family, people that I know.
Yeah.
Friend and foe alike.
Yeah.
Family member alike, then exposed a lot of people, because a lot of people don't know how to use logic.
Yeah.
And I tell people, no man, I say, I don't care if they believe in whatever religious cult or sect they want to stick with. You want Allah, Buddha, Yasha, Yahweh, Yashahawa, pick whichever one you got. What man? All right, right now I say X, you got to mask up because of this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, this and this and this. But then you look at the box of the mask and you read the label, and it says, wait a minute, the manufacturer says that this does nothing to protect from, you know what I'm saying, from coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
Due to this thing only has a micron count of this. Here we go with that math again, right? Math and science. It only has a micron count of this. And I say, well, X, you got to wear it anyway. If you don't, you can't come in this store. And you going, but Nick, this mask ain't gonna do nothing. It's not an N95 mask. And like I had to tell my sister, I said, you sit up and follow these clowns on TV and they telling you this, and you ought to do this, and you ought to get this shot. And I said, how many of them did you see, including your president, that was wearing an N95 series mask?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I said that 1, 5, none. I said, let me help you out, sis. The answer is none.
Mm-hmm.
That you wearing a piece of cloth, got the Detroit Lions logo on it, LA Lakers, Hello Kitty. You know what I'm saying? You know, they got
it ain't blocking out nothing.
Bad baby. What? This is a fashion statement for them. This is people hiding their insecurities, and they're using a mask. I said, now let's keep pushing a little further. Okay, doctor, this one, that one, another said this. Okay, X, you can take your mask off. So wait a minute. Before he said, take your mask off, this boogie thing was supposed to be in my front face waiting to attack me, right? So
Mhm.
this human being, this carbon-based life form, this man who put on his pants the same way I did, said, no, X, I'm gonna protect you now. Go ahead and take it off.
Yeah.
So that means it wasn't there in the first place.
That's right.
It wasn't
That's
there in
right.
the first place. Who gave him or her, anyone, that kind of power? That kind of power. You shut business. I don't know how they do it out there, bro. Now tell me if this makes sense. You go in a restaurant, right? Because I had to get my ass out of San Antonio. Fuck that. They can keep that shit. I'm in the sticks. We don't play that shit out here. But anyway, you go in a restaurant and you go up to the door. Now they got a maitre d'. How you doing? Yeah. How many in your party? 3. Okay. And we walk in. You got to put your mask on to go inside. She walk you to your table. When you sit down, you can take your mask off.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So what's different in the air over here at this table that's different than the air when I walk through the restaurant to sit here? And if I get up and go to the bathroom to wash my hands, I gotta put the mask on again.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I come back out and sit at the table, I can take the mask back off.
Yeah.
So I guess so you telling me COVID is just hanging around me, just waiting on me to stand up without the mask on so it can go, ah, I gotcha, Negro.
And see, at your dinner table is COVID free, around your dinner table. So, you take your mask off at the dinner table, you good.
Over
You
us
good.
pump in hot oxygen. You got to stand in line. My brother, when he flew back to the Natty, he at the airport, drop him off at the airport in San Antonio. Bye, bro. Love you. All right, good. They got the 6-foot thing in the airport, 6 foot social distancing with the mask on, right? They check him in on the plane. He gets on the plane. If you had a shot, you got to sit at, here we go. You got to sit at the back of the bus if you didn't have a shot, because the air at the back of the plane is different than the air at the front of the plane. You got a shot, you can sit at the front of the plane. You don't, you sit at the back of the plane. Even though you flying in space, and we all know how the oxygen system works on planes. Because the cabin is pressurized. It has to be. When a cabin loses pressure, that's when your little thing falls out the ceiling and you're supposed to put it on your face and suck and breathe normally. So y'all all sitting next to each other. Ain't no social distancing on no plane.
Nope.
Y'all sitting all next to each other, breathing the same air. But hell, you can elbow the person sitting next to you, right?
Yep.
But so why would we spread apart 6 feet standing in the airport with a mask on? Any people won't use common sense, but know what the average person is, and I'm gonna shut up. They just cave. The average person, look, I just don't want to cause no trouble. I just want to get on the plane. I just want to get in the bus. I just want to get on the Uber. I just want to go in here and get this Philly cheesesteak sandwich. I just want to go in here and get this 40 ounce. So you capitulate. So now I'm beating you into submission. Once I've got you beaten into submission, I can take the next step. Well, X, you can't take the mask off till you get this shot.
Yep.
Was the shot guaranteed to work? Nope. Can I sue you if it goes wrong? Nope. Do it have side effects? Well, some. Okay, but am I protected? So are you going to take care of me if one of them side effects mess me up? No. Then why? Wait, so if I take the shot, can I still catch COVID? Yeah. But then why am I taking it then? Oh, protocol, sir. Protocol. So you take it. So now you let Jocasta, your mama, and all them, because who the main ones that the media and big pharma is putting up in front of the face on TV, pushing the issue. It's black women
Oh yeah.
and rappers and
Oh yeah.
entertainers.
Yep.
Black America is the only race that holds up athletes higher than they hold up educators.
Absolutely.
Which is insane. Dude, you dribble a ball, or you throw a ball, or you catch a ball, or you rap lyrics about how you gonna smack this bitch and you smoke that and drive that and turned the corner and ran this Negro over. But I'm supposed to take medical advice from you?
Yeah. Yeah. That right there to me is just, insane, because you got some of the most unqualified people, giving advice that should be coming out the mouth of people who are more qualified. I could go along with it more if you had some black doctors, black virologists up there. You had black scientists, you had black people who literally do this for a living. I mean, as opposed to putting rappers in front of me and basketball players in front of me and all this kind of stuff. But see, they look at these people as these people being the best of us, right? So yeah, they're the best of us, these athletes and entertainers and musical artists and all these people. These are the, cream of the crop black people. So, not the scientists or the doctors. No, not the people who actually study viruses and study vaccines, and not those people. No. We need a basketball player telling us about vaccine, not a person who's been studying vaccines for 20 years. Absolutely not. We can't have them up there talking about it. We got to have an NBA player. We got to have an entertainer, a freaking comedian, some rap artist. He's up there talking about it. And it's like, it reminds me of this. It reminds me of the internet. You got a bunch of people who ain't qualified to be talking about shit, giving you advice, telling you about things that they have no qualifications in, telling you how to do shit that they've never done, telling you how to live a life that they have never lived, aren't living now, and have no intention on living. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. But we as black society, we are susceptible to this crap. And that's the major problem. I mean, it's not them. The problem isn't the NBA star up there saying, get the shot. The problem is us looking at him all starry-eyed saying, yeah, I'm going to do that because this rapper said so. We are the goddamn problem. It ain't the people up there talking it. It's the people who are watching it, because it's more of us than it is of them.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
bro, and I step out now because I run across so many goofballs now. Seem like the bigger your channel get, the more goofy come with it. But people, I said, man, somebody said, well, Ben Carson said, why the hell I'm listening to Ben Carson? He a neurosurgeon. He ain't no damn epidemiologist. I said, and I said, wait a minute, he ain't no epidemiologist. I said, but LeBron James is?
Yeah.
I said, LeBron James, shoot, he ain't even graduate. He ain't graduate high school. What are you talking about? Now, look, is that a different field? Yes. But am I going to get better medical advice from a neurosurgeon or a basketball player?
Exactly.
Can I get something wrong from both? Yes. But which one do I have the better odds of getting good information from?
Exactly.
The neurosurgeon.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. If he didn't have an R behind his name and he had a D behind his name, them niggas would listen to him.
Yeah, they would.
He would say that he could say the exact same thing, which goes to prove I need to patent this phrase. I've been saying it, and everybody say, "Hey, I like that. Ideology trumps race." I've been saying that. I've been saying that since I took political science.
Absolutely.
Because man, they do a test. I still remember my professor, and I'll keep it short. He read off something. He said, and he just take off reading. All of us sit there. He don't say good morning, class. How you doing? We gonna do this, that, and other. Everybody sit down. He'd look and do the attendance, and then he just pick up a piece of paper and start reading it. Da 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 da. You know, and whatnot. You go, y'all agree with that? Yeah, it sounds pretty good. And then, okay, then all right, well, let's get on with the day's lesson. Then bing, the bell ring later on. He said, oh, class, guess what? Yeah, that text that I read to y'all, yeah, that the majority of y'all agreed with said sound good. Yeah. Know who said that? Nah, it's from page 32 in Mein Kampf, Adolf Hitler. See y'all tomorrow.
Yep.
Now I can't, but ideology.
Oh, yeah.
Does it make okay because he was Adolf Hitler? If Adolf Hitler says 2 + 2 is 4, and Malcolm X tell me 2 + 2 is 5. Now I like Malcolm. You know what I mean? I like Malcolm. I like his teachings. I like, what he said, Detroit Red. That's, shoot, that's my dude. Does that make him right? No, because 2 + 2 is not 5. Do you like Hitler? Oh, well, if you agree with Hitler, then you a hate. No, I'm not. Dude, 2 + 2 is 4. The bad guy said it, but it's still, you know what I'm saying? And that's what these people are doing. And it gets worse the older I get, because you know me, I'm an old cat too. The older I get, the worse it seems to get. It's getting worse by the day.
It is.
A lot of people been exposed with COVID-19 and stimulus checks. Because people that claim they got this and got that, why they worrying about a stimulus check? I ain't getting no motherfucking stimulus check. I ain't never gonna get no stimulus check.
No. Hell no. Not one goddamn penny. Shit, last year I owed.
I always owe. Like I said, dude, I bet you I owe more than you make. I told people that. I bet you I owe more than you make.
I do a lot of writing.
65,000. Like I said, I bet you I owe more than you make.
I do a lot of writing off, boy, and shit.
Yeah,
man.
and I gotta change up some things. I gotta flip some trucks and get some. I gotta buy. The silicon shortage, the computer chip shortage is so bad, the truck production then almost came to a halt.
Yeah.
I can't sell the stuff you got because you ain't no new trucks to buy, so there's nothing to write off. So that tax thing just rolled over on my ass again. Ain't this some shit?
Shit, I gotta buy another truck this year because we're expanding. I have to get one more truck. I have to buy one more trailer, and I try to finagle it, man, the best way I can. But you can only write off so much shit.
Yeah,
you can only write off so much stuff. So, and like I said, I gotta buy another truck. I probably gotta buy another truck within the next month or so. So, and another goddamn trailer. So I mean,
and everything I get is it ain't off the lot stuff. Doing the vocation that I'm in. It's but you X.
I get a lot of my shit from auctions, man. I buy a lot of my trucks from auctions. I know a couple guys with dealer licenses, and I go with them to dealer auctions. So I get pretty good deals. I get pretty good deals on trucks, but I always have to finagle it because they do other things, know. So I have to make sure it's convenient for them. It's got to be a day that they can come and I can be there, and it's got to be a day of the auction because it's not like they have an auction every day. Right. So the logistics, I get caught up in the logistics. But if I give them the heads up, they usually tell me, X, next week, they having an auction, come down to such and such, go to Gastonia, go to Lincolnton, something like that, go to Iredell County, meet me there, and we'll do something because I buy it through them. They have the dealer's license. I don't. I'm just there. And they do the bidding off it, and I give them the money, and I get them something, for their services. That's what I've been doing for the past few years. So
ain't nothing wrong with that. But with me, but I say because I got new trucks on order, but until the silicone to the silicon and the IC chips catch up to it. And you want to hear something crazy? Because I'm a Navistar service contractor, the international truck brand.
Mm-hmm.
It is so bad down here because, you know, a lot of them trucks, a lot of them are made in Mexico.
Yep.
They have such a shortage. They're building trucks because you piggyback them. You stack 2 more trucks on the back of a running truck, you know, and they just pulls them that way. You know, they delivering 3 trucks at a time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big holding yard up here, just southeast of San Antonio. Okay, huge holding yard. It's like a pen, and that's where they bring the trucks, and then they send them, you know, and then they figure out where they going all across the United States from there. They're so short of silicon and computers, and that they drive the trucks up here, pulling 2 trucks that don't have electronics in them.
Mm-hmm.
And the lead truck that got the electronics, they literally take the instrument panel cluster out and take the ECM off, which is pretty easy. It take you about 2 minutes to take a ECM off the engine. It's normally like 6 screws and 2 plugs, and it's literally just sitting on the side of the engine. Yeah. And they got to take the instrument cluster and the ECM back to Mexico with them to drive up the next truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. That's insanity. And I noticed something when I because I went to, well, I usually travel every, 2 to 3 months, no more than 4 months. You know, me and my wife, we take a ride. We go to New York, we go to Florida, we go to Georgia, shit like that. And usually when I travel, especially when I get on those highways, like if I'm on 81 or I'm on 78 or I'm on the I-2 or whatever I'm on, something I always notice is I see trucks hauling other trucks.
Right.
When I went down,
piggyback.
Yeah, they're usually hauling like 3 extra trucks on one truck.
Mm-hmm.
I went down and up last week. I didn't see any of that. I mean, I didn't see any trucks hauling trucks.
Right.
When I went in, because I went down in January too. And I usually see that, if I've been driving, say, an hour or 2, I've seen at least 3 or 4, shipment of trucks, that I'm either passing or on the highway. I didn't see it in January, nor did I see it last week when I went, because, I went down to Florida, me and my wife, for my anniversary. And I didn't see going down or coming up. Now that I think about it, I didn't see it at all. And that's something that I often see. Because my wife, she always points it out. She's like, oh, look at that truck, hauling all those other trucks.
Mm-hmm.
This time, nothing.
Yeah, because
January,
we tow them. They call us to tow them in, like, because sometimes them brand new trucks, they'll break down. They won't even make it. And I got to send one of the guys, and if everybody busy, I got to go do it myself. And I know where the holding pen is because it's been there forever. I've been towing for Santex International for 17, 18 years. I think I kind of know my way. And the guy, that's what he was telling me when we dropped them off. And they over there, I said, man, what are they doing? He said, oh, they got to take the instrument cluster and the ECM back. I said,
wow.
Why? It don't stay with the truck. They said, no. He said, this is just it's got a base map. I said, what do you mean a base map? It's the basic computer with the basic instrument cluster. They're just using that to transport the trucks up here. Then when the parts finally catch up, they're going to install new clusters and a new ECM here at the hold lot.
Wow.
And the lot is full. I mean, that lot is full. There's piggyback trucks as far as your eye can see. And I'm sitting up here thinking, is three of these trucks in here mine? Because I'm still waiting on.
Nah. And all those trucks sitting on the lots, they don't have the ECM and the electronic control module.
Nope.
They're missing.
Yep.
There's none in there.
The
Plus,
only
they
thing
take
in
them
them
out
is
and
the
they take them back
wiring
south of the
harness.
border. Wow.
Yeah. The only thing in them is the wiring harness, and they just waiting on the computers so they can mount the computer, because the computer mounts for the controls the engine and the transmission, shift pattern, speedometer, all that other stuff is screws to the side. It's a 2-minute job.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a high dollar part, but it take about 2 minutes to take it off.
Oh,
And then the instrument cluster itself, because all the controls are in there, because ain't no more mechanical gauges, all the gauges are electronic.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no more speedometer cable like that was on the trucks that me and you used to drive. It's all wires. It's all electronic.
So are those trucks available for purchase? They're not available for purchase with
No.
the ECM missing, right? So you have
Correct.
to wait. You have to wait for them to, I guess, ship those ECMs back up, right?
They
And
just
once
got to
they're-
get them out from down there on the assembly line in Mexico, because they ain't got nowhere to put them. So
okay.
they sent them up to San Antonio to the whole lot. San Antonio is a giant hub city. Most people have no idea. San Antonio is a giant hub. The two largest interstates in the United States run through San Antonio. Interstate 35 runs from Mexico all the way to Canada. It runs smack down through downtown Detroit. Downtown San Antonio. I'm getting homesick. Runs right through downtown San Antonio. Interstate 10 runs east and west all the way from California through downtown San Antonio. They literally cross each other, and it runs all the way to the East Coast.
Okay.
To the Atlantic Ocean. It dump you right at the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
It's
I've been a lot of
giant
places
hub
in this
city.
country, but I've never been to Texas. I've never been to Texas. Never been.
San Antonio is the 7th largest city in the United States, and every major trucking company has a hub there.
Wow.
Every one of them, you name it. Walmart, CR England, JB Hunt, you name it. They all have Pam Express. All of them have hubs in San Antonio or in the surrounding San Antonio area. It's a freight hub.
Okay. With a lot of trucks sitting around with no damn electronic control modules in them.
Yeah. And now regular freight now, it's so bad down here. All the freight brokers at the board down here at the Port of Houston and Port of Laredo. Right now, the last time I checked, talking to the guys down there, there's 40 trailers for every tractor now that needs to be delivered.
Wow.
It's normally around 12. The average in the trucking business is 12. 12 trailers for every tractor. They're so backed up. It's 40 trailers loaded with goods waiting to be delivered for every one tractor that's available.
Wow.
We're upside down. I mean, now if I wasn't in this line of business, I wouldn't know none of this. I'd just be wondering how come we can't get shit and how come it ain't on the shelf. It's all sitting down here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But bruh, but man, I was listening to your show, y'all be cracking me up. I just had to chime in with you, brother. I ain't gonna keep you. I'm gonna get out your hair. But
I appreciate
but
you
you're
coming
right.
through, Brother Taylor.
Yeah, but you're 100% right on these guys. They talking it, but they ain't walking it. They ain't getting out living. They talking on people and hating on them. And dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
They live in this shit, man. This is the shit they live in, and they're fine to do it. I mean, if this is your life, all right, if internet and the media and shit is your life, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. My only problem is when you think that it's supposed to be my fucking life too, because it's not.
Right.
It's not. It's not my fucking life. Okay. If it's your life, I don't have a problem with it, man. Live your life, because that's what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna live mine, and the best parts of my life are off this shit.
Exactly. And that's you right. But the ones I say, if this is how you make your money online, I ain't mad at you.
Do your
Because there's a
thing.
lot of professional YouTubers out here with them 2 million subs and all this stuff. That's different. But my money ain't over here. I gotta go outside.
Hell no.
I gotta go outside, bruh.
Told you, sometimes I do these 2 and 3 hour goddamn streams. I'll be like, goddamn, how much money would I have fucking made in 3 hours if my ass was somewhere working? You know,
Exactly.
I sit by, I calculate that shit. I'm like, god damn.
Hey,
Why you think I only stream at night?
Yeah,
I only
same
do
thing
this
here
shit at
because at
night.
nighttime it slows down over it. The towing business slows down because most of the shops are closed. You know, most ain't nothing. I got a handful of accounts that's out moving around at night. Cisco Foods, Republic National. You know, them guys they run. You know, but besides that, that's why I do this at nighttime because the
Yeah.
phone ain't ringing.
Yeah, this is the only time I have. I've been doing, because someone, you know, I've had people, you know, because I talk to brothers, you know, I have brothers' phone numbers and shit, and they have my personal phone number. And many people have told me, like, yo, X, man, you know, you do it Wednesday, Thursday, man, you need to change. Do it Friday, do it Saturday. I've
Shit.
been doing Wednesdays and Thursdays for like 3 years, 4 years now. You know why I do Wednesdays and Thursdays? Because these are the only fucking 2 nights that I have that I can fucking do this shit. I can't stream every night. I tried it, man. I did
can't do it.
during the election time, brother Taylor. 1 week, man, I did like 4 streams in a row. I did
Wow.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then turned around and did another one on Monday. Man, I was so beat and tired because guess what? Guess what? I get up at like 5 in the morning. So, you know,
Damn.
if a stream run till 2 or 3, guess what? I can lay down for like 2 hours and my ass got to get right back up. I do it Wednesday. I do Wednesdays and Thursdays for 2 reasons. Number one, Thursday, okay? Thursday is mostly a paperwork day. When I you know, Thursday I get up, I do my paperwork, make sure everybody get paid, all that kind of shit, you know, because I don't have a real accountant. You know, my accountant is like part-time. So I have to make sure everybody gets paid. I do that shit Thursday morning. If I have anything to do, that's usually in the afternoon. That's why I do Wednesday, because Wednesday is a pretty rough day for me, you know, for because that's when we run routes. So that's a rough day. So I definitely wouldn't be doing nothing on a fucking Tuesday night because I'd be dead when I wake up the Wednesday morning. I'd get out of here. So I do it on Thursday because I know I can, you know, kind of get up late, you know. And I do Thursdays because most Fridays I don't work. So Wednesday and Thursday are the perfect nights for me. You know, those are the perfect nights for me to be up here because they conveniently work into my schedule. Now, every now and then I may do a Friday. I may do a Saturday, depending on what I got going on. If somebody hit me up, like, oh, X, I want to do a debate, you know, something like that. But Wednesday and Thursday have been my nights for at least 3 years, man.
And I
Because
wouldn't change a thing
these
if I
are the
was you.
nights that I have.
I wouldn't change a thing. Everybody else said, well, man, you ought to do what, man, tell you what, apparently look like you got an internet connection and you got a YouTube account.
You do your show. Do your show on
your
Tuesday.
channel.
Yeah, do your show on Monday.
Yeah, blow it up. And I heckle the hell out of you in the comment section like you be doing me. You know, but brother, come on here and just yell at each other, calling it, man. I can't do it, X. I can't do it. Bitch,
man, I'm too old for that shit, man. I'm too old.
Even when I was, I can't even imagine. Why am I gonna sign up to talk crazy to somebody or to let them talk? Look, man, I'll let you talk crazy by yourself. Bye.
Yeah. You want to talk crazy, you can do it alone.
Yeah. I mean, because you're crazy anyway. You may as well go full blown crazy and just talk to your damn self.
Yeah, I don't have time for that kind of crap. I do this YouTube stuff because I like doing it. It's not making me rich. I tell people all the time, a little bit of money I make for it, you know what that shit goes to? It goes to a couple boxes of good cigars and fucking dog food for my mutt. Yeah, that's pretty much where it goes. I don't make a lot of money off of this shit. And even if someone launched a fucking missile through the YouTube headquarters tonight, guess what? I will still smoke good cigars and my fucking dog will still eat. Why? Because my dog was eating before YouTube and I was smoking good cigars before YouTube.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now, my dog thanks you, though. My dog thanks you.
What kind of
Because
dog is it?
Huh?
What kind of dog?
He's a bull mastiff. He's a
No,
bull mastiff.
ooh, you got a big dog.
Yeah, I have to, man. You know, there's meth heads around here. You know, I got to keep them out of the perimeter. Yeah, I got to keep them out of the. I got to keep them out of the perimeter. Man. I can't let them. I can't let them breach. I can't let them breach the perimeter. That's my first line of defense. While sending that grizzly bear out there, boy. But
Boy, they
yeah,
see that big joker. Woo-wee.
my dog thanks you, folks. He does. He thanks you, Negroes. He does. But even if you stop sending money, guess what?
He's still
That
gonna
big
eat.
motherfucker still gonna eat, folks. I'm just saying. But I appreciate you coming through. It's always a pleasure to rap with you, brother
Same
Taylor.
here, brother, man.
You know, man. You know, you always welcome up here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page, man. And you know, we'll come through anytime, brother. You already know what it is, man.
You got it, brother. Be good.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh, before you go, damn it, shit, I forgot. I want to show y'all this thing that that brother Taylor did, man. This shit is hilarious, man. Damn, he left before I could show it. Damn it.
Already had it in his mind. What I played on leather. I don't give a fuck what you played on. This is what I want you to do. Bing, 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 bing. That's what I do it. Do it. Yeah, you do. There you go. Drummer. Guess who else used to do that? George Clinton. George Clinton used to do the exact same thing. Now you want to compare dude to go, nigga, hit the bitch, boom, hit her, smoke this shit, boom, hit it, try that bitch, take it off, hit it, hit them brakes, hit it, go that way, hit the left. That's not. He ain't George Clinton.
Brother Taylor got that shit down packed, man.
I hear it coming out of people's cars, and I see these motherfuckers' heads in their dumb. I'm like, what are you doing? Man, this shit is dope. You mean as in heroin? Man, hit that left at the end of the block, hit that right, watch the speed bump. Nigga, hit them brakes. Smoke this shit. What? What are they talking about? What does that even mean? How do you make a name? All right, Sly, what would you name that song? That's what you what? Somebody help me. This shit makes them. Hey, there you go, Dollar Washer. Hit them brakes. That's it.
but Nick, you gotta have a chorus in the background, so check that. Hit breaks.
Look at Sly face. He like, hey, wait a minute. I think they own it.
That shit is hilarious, man. Shout out to brother Taylor. Cause that shit is hilarious, man. Notice I have it. That shit is fucking hilarious, man. Oh my goodness, man. Shout out to brother Taylor. While that shit was playing, my wife probably thought I was over here crazy because I was dying. Wiping my eyes and the whole shit. That shit is hilarious. Shout out to my brother, man, Nick Taylor. But before we get up out of here, y'all know I always got to hit y'all with T.P.O.T's programming notes. Yeah, Wednesday, we're going to be throwing down brother Bernard Riley. All right, will be here from the Grown Man Hour, and he'll be squaring off with brother SKC. Yeah, man, big debate. And they will be debating is macro evolution scientific. Brother Bernard Riley from the Grown Man Hour says yes. Brother SKC says no, and they'll be squaring off, man, right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You Negroes know. And also, Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Ask the Doc series returns, and the one and only Green Gorilla will be in the house. The G with the PhD will be here, and y'all know on the Ask the Doc series, the PhDs and the docs come up here, man, and they'll be answering your questions. So make sure your black behinds are here next week, all right? Wednesday and Thursday, all right? Right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You Negroes know. Yeah, so we're gonna get on up out of here, man. Good stuff tonight, man. As usual, brother Obsidian came through and we talked about the book a little bit, and of course brother Taylor was here as well, and that shit is hilarious, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight, man. I appreciate the support, man. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us, man, and watching us tonight, man. Like I always say, man, I don't take y'all good folks lightly, man. I never have, and I never will. Shout out to brother Nick Taylor, and a special shout out to brother Obsidian for coming through tonight on short notice, because I believe I woke them up when I called them, even though we did talk about this like last week on the phone. But I do believe that I woke the brother up, and he jumped right up and came right on. It's like, okay, X, I'm coming through. So shout out to brother Obsidian. And if you get a chance, man, go ahead and try to get hold, man, of the book of Obsidian. You know, the manual for the 21st century Black American gentleman. I'm going to get brother Obsidian back because there's a few things in here that I do still want to talk to him about. We just kind of ran a little short on time, y'all, but we're going to get him back in here, man, and we're going to talk about it. All right. All right. So with that, I will leave you good folks with 3 words. You know, like I always do.
I am the voice of the everyday brother.
Open your mind. Your mind. Your mind. Your mind.
Hours of power, hours of power, hours of power, hours of power.
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, see, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost got $1 billion. Three PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hear these sirens and look through the mirror and see this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, punk. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. With all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Why do you think you never pick up the paper to read over and over and see white families come? You think it's thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops got my loved one 42 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops are better? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, if we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license, just like if you drive a car. And if you use it wrongly, you'll lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to push that through? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Flagstaff Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Westinghouse. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
San Antonio, Lincoln 6. Go ahead. Clear suspect down, 10-4. That's 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your mind.
I am the voice of the everyday brother.
Only from T.P.O.T. Media. Open your mind.